Now we'll move on to the sleeping gear, what I use to get a good night's rest, because rest is crucial to any trip. It directly affects your safety. I've fallen asleep at the handlebars a few times, I'm not proud to say it, pushing, running away from storms, making certain destinations. So sleeping is a must, and you guarantee that with good gear. Now for sleeping, I always carry a two-person tent. This is an REI tent, a half dome. They make many different models. Whatever you buy is up to you. I've reviewed tents as well. You can take a look at that video in the playlist. I'll also link it here. So I just like the two-person tent because it gives you more space. When you are tired from the day, you can stretch out, you can put your gear. There's a bigger vestibule, usually on either side. I prefer tents that have doors on either side. And I prefer tents that are mostly mesh, because if it's a nice night and you're not expecting rain or wind, then you don't need to put the rain fly. You want to see the sky. So other riders, for example, Gene likes his little bivouac. So it's like a single person tent where you just kind of coffin style go inside. I don't like that. I like to be able to be on my knees and change in there and lay out my sleeping pad and my bag and have extra space for my pack and organize myself in there. So I do like the two-person tent. Again, take a look at that video for more specific tent options.
On the Felice Playa, this is southern Portugal. It's insane. I couldn't sleep at all tonight.
I have a Marmot, and that one's the one I've used for longest. That one's orange, however. I like that the vestibule has a window because sometimes you'll find some crazy noise. You want to see what that is, and you don't have to get out of your tent. You kind of just look through that window. But I generally like tents that are not so brightly colored because I like to be stealth. Sometimes you're not gonna have a chance. Maybe you're gonna be crossing on somebody's property. You don't have a choice if you're getting chased by a storm. So just take a look at that video for more particular information regarding tent and sleeping. But actually, since we're talking about that, I'd like to introduce you to something that I use very often, and I have it here. This is it's called an Ino. It's a hammock. I love hammocks. If I don't need to set up a tent, I'm not gonna set up a tent. I'll put a hammock and I'll call it a day. This one actually has a mosquito net, and I've loved hammocks ever since I did my field research in the Amazon, and I was there for quite a while, the middle of Amazon, and the way you sleep there to avoid being on the ground is in a hammock. It would definitely help to have some kind of a netting, but this one I have connected to a rock climbing friend or cam. This is a little piece of equipment that, like an umbrella, it collects, it's metal, and then you put it in a hole somewhere in a rock and it expands. And this is a form of an anchor when you're rock climbing. So I like to have that there because anything that maybe even like a crack of trees can be used to set up your tent. The other part you can connect to a tree, to maybe some heavy motorcycles that are well positioned. I also have a runner rigged so that I can accommodate different tree sizes, etc. So a runner is something you can just buy at a local store to cut the length of your preference, and you can make little knots in it so that you can use those knots as different adjustments. You don't have to undo the whole thing all the time. So there's that. And I'll put a jacket or something, maybe like a raincoat or something in there, just if it gets too cold. I've even used overturned tables such as this in Death Valley where there's nothing, basically, no rocks that you can connect to. I've overturned these two, just flipped it over on a big rock, and then you expose the metal leg, and I've connected my hammock to that as well, and super useful. So if you want to take a nap throughout the day, if you're getting tired, you don't want to get sleepy and fall asleep while you're riding, it's really great to have that handy. I sleep on one at home. Actually, I sleep on the nice handmade Mexican ones, and it's just helped my back so much. Back pain has gone away. If I have back pain one night, then I'll go sleep in the hammock. I have one in my bedroom and I have one in my backyard, and I'll share a link where you can get your hands on premium handmade Mexican hammock for pennies, for something that would cost $200 here. You can use my name and you can get it. I believe they're $30, $40. I'll negotiate a special price for my viewers. So and it's this beautiful, beautiful hammock. I think I've seen it in Anthropology or something to that effect. So in any case, so much for the hammock. Awesome, awesome stuff. Now for the sleeping part. For the sleeping part, it's very important that you're off the ground because the ground is cold. It's not well insulated, so you're going to be cold from the ground up, and also creepy crawlers. It's just more comfortable to be off the ground. One way to do it is with this thing. This is called a thermarest ridge crest. It's got the ridges, etc. I don't sleep on this alone just because I've tried that. I'm not a fan. I don't know, it just hurts me personally. But you have hardcore backpackers who want to be light and they want to use something for multiple purposes, such as stretching in the morning, yoga, to sit on something where it's more comfortable, you're not getting dirty, and obviously for sleeping purposes. This is pretty good, so I still carry it because I find use for it. And you can make shade with this. Again, shade is very important if you need to work on your motorcycle, fix something during the day, and you don't have any shade. So very, very important. It's used for when you sit someplace, it makes it more comfortable. And also, I sleep on it just to prevent anything from poking into my air mattress. So it's really, really useful. What I found use for it yesterday, we were out here in this beautiful, beautiful open sky. It's a new moon, so it was very dark, and you could see all the stars. And like a gift, we were presented with this beautiful constellation of the Big Dipper, and the North Star was right there, and it was just kind of rotating here the whole night. It was beautiful. So there's no real comfortable way to see that from the tent because you got the mesh and everything. And I wish there was a way they created something where you can just open it out of the way. And that's another reason why I like to sleep in a hammock, to be honest. You just have the night sky uninterrupted. So I laid this pad down on that little hill right there, and it was, you know, the best way to see it. Gene gave me an idea for another addition that I'll actually consider, and that's chair, like a little folding chair. REI makes it, extra light, something like that. The pack's fairly small, and it's convenient, you know. I mean, for that reason, you know, to have those experiences, to actually enjoy the nighttime sky, I think to invest in a little chair would be awesome. But I actually prefer the inflatable ones that are, you have two different versions. You have the self-inflatable ones. This, for example, is by REI. It's called the Light Core 1.5, meaning 1.5 inches. That's sufficient here. And I also always carry a inflatable pillow. This is just kind of like a standard inflatable pillow. It's pretty interesting how important a pillow gets. The only thing that I can suggest with the sleeping pad is this is the one that kind of blows up by itself at least halfway, and then you have to just add to it. I actually like that at night when I'm all done and the sun has already set and it's fairly dark. I get in my tent and I lay down, I put the thing on top of me, and as I'm breathing into it, just casually breathing, exhaling, I'm looking through my photos, and before you know it, the thing is blown up. So it's kind of neat. It's a really great way to end the day too. So a pillow, gosh, I can't recommend the pillow enough, honestly. You could have a sack of clothes, but just make sure it's clean, your face goes on it, and it's pretty important too, so you don't get, I have this little blow up pillow. It's kind of like a beach style. It's not bad, but I like this one a lot because it has these little rings that are rubberized, so they prevent you from sliding. Sometimes you'll pick a bad spot and it'll be too late to move it, and you don't want to be sliding all over the place. So this really helps. But you also have smaller packed ones that are not self-inflating, so you have to inflate it yourself. In here, all that's basically left is clothing that are basically strapped down via a compression sack. This is a sack that fits everything, and then it has straps on the side to compress it, and my sleeping bag. Sleeping bag, you know, the warmer it is, the bigger it's going to be, but you have to be the judge of that. I would recommend 32-degree sleeping bag, so 0-degree sleeping bag, and you should be okay, you know, with the rest of the stuff that you're going to be wearing. I also have, very importantly, I have these booties, they're called, and they are full of down, which is the warmest material that you could insulate with, and you just put your feet in at night in your sleeping bag and you're super warm. Of course, the feet are very difficult to keep warm, so it's kind of kind of important to have them extra insulated. And that's it. My sleeping bag goes at the bottom. It's also in a compression sack because you need to obviously compress that to make it smaller. Down sleeping bags are best. You know, synthetics are pretty decent, but downs are always going to be best. This is the pack that I've been mentioning. I take this everywhere. Super durable. I've had this over 10 years now, and other than, you know, the standard stuff that goes bad, the thing is just super solid, so I really like it.
Basta nene.